Hey y'all, welcome to NEO Strategic. New Eyes Open Strategic exists to help you see your life through new eyes. Helicopter going over. Or if you're already seeing your life through new eyes, I'm here to help to share some strategies, some tips, things that have helped me as I have redesigned my life and from somebody who was a public school teacher who now unschools her children, someone who thought I needed to go back and get a master's in education in a master's in higher education administration in order to coach young adults, to somebody who works with entrepreneurs, coaching, consulting, and mentoring them through parenthood, alternative school options, alternative education options for their children, alternative lifestyle options, just because why not experience what you want to experience in life? Why not design your life the way that you want to live it in the here and now? Someone who spent most days indoors to someone who tries to be outdoors as much as possible. Yeah. So my name is Stephanie. Welcome to NEO Strategic. I would love to talk to you today about 5 alternatives. So this is our intro series of 5 alternatives to traditional 9 to 5 jobs. I don't know about you, but when I started this journey, I had a really hard time imagining anything different than working a different kind of 9 to 5 job to get ahead. So I was a public school teacher. I taught high school. I have had other jobs. I also was an office manager for a construction company. I've cleaned beach houses. That was one of my first jobs. But my first real job was as a public school teacher. I was a high school teacher. I loved teaching. I loved my students. I loved my coworkers for the most part. I did not love watching these bright students get so jaded by school because of testing or feel like they were failures because they, slept through class part of the time. And I actually had a student say to me one time, he had a tendency to sleep a lot in class. I had to make him stand up often, wake him up, make him stand up. But I also knew that he had a job that he had to go to. I knew that he was helping his mom, who was a single mom, pay for things. But at the end of the year, because he had missed so many days of school and because his grades weren't the best because he slept through a lot of his classes, he had to take my exam, which for some students was optional. Like based on their attendance and their grades, some kids were eligible to skip my exam. He was not. And that last day after exams were done, we were all sitting there waiting for the rest of the school to get done with their exams. Wasted time. Yet another thing I did not enjoy about public education. Efficiency is key for me. He looked at me and he said, "Yeah, you're probably ready to get rid of a loser like me, right? You're ready to not have a loser like me in your class." And it broke my heart. And I looked at him, I said, "You know what? When I look at you, I do not see a loser. I see a kid who is working his butt off at his after-school job, and because you're doing that and you have the weight of family responsibility on your shoulders, you're tired." And, at the time, he knew what he wanted to do out of high school, and it didn't require college, it required trade school. So I told him, I said, you already know what you want to do, and you know that, half the classes you're in aren't going to be necessary for trade school. So actually, I see a young man who is more responsible than a lot of his peers and is helping take care of his family. And has a good head on his shoulders, and is using his time efficiently. Like, if you're tired, you have to rest at some point. So I don't judge you because you fall asleep in my class. I don't think you're a loser because of that. And he got tears in his eyes. His eyes teared up, and he was like, wow, I never realized you thought about me that way. And the thing is, there wasn't enough of that. There are teachers. So here's the thing. I don't consider myself to be better than other public school teachers, but most teachers don't have the time one-on-one with students to actually have those kinds of conversations. And that is the really sad part about public education. There are so many things that teachers are pressured into, but I am digressing big time. The topic of this video is supposed to be 5 alternatives to traditional 9-to-5 jobs. And as I was saying, when I was a public school teacher, I just couldn't imagine anything else other than a different 9-to-5 job that paid more as a way to get ahead or to live a different life. And I went back and got a master's in higher education administration because I knew I wanted to coach. Students or advise students, young adults, and actually anyone who would listen to me. And so I thought that, yeah, getting a master's in higher ed was the way to do that. Oh, low battery. And so I went back, got that, realized it was just going to be same thing, different place. And by this point, I had learned enough about my own values and honoring and respecting my own values that I ended up going back into a teaching position because it was at a K-12 academy and it was a charter school, and it allowed me to spend more time with my children because my kids got to come to the same school with me. And so I went there. I also was hoping, I really held out this hope that this was the answer. This was going to be the different kind of educational situation that I could believe in. And it was better, which is why in my last video where I talked about 5 alternatives to traditional public ed, I do list public charter schools as an option because the ones that I have had experience with, you do have to do your research, but the ones I have seen and been experienced with have been better than the traditional public ed option. Not always the case, so definitely do your research. But, we get into this mindset that like all we can do is the same job, just different. And I am going to ask you to open your mind to a different perspective and just open it up to some different possibilities today. So here's my 5. They are not the only 5 by any means. There's so many jobs out there. And so number 1 is very different. And if you have heard any of my other videos, I'm a big proponent of a family gap year. And when we decided to go on our family gap year, I learned about this job and was like, gosh, why didn't I learn about it before our gap year? We could have planned accordingly. Lots of campgrounds will pay you and give you a free place to stay to be a campground host. There's also maintenance jobs available out there for some of the bigger campgrounds. Now, some of these jobs only pay you in like a free camp spot and free hookups. But there are those out there that will pay you a stipend or a salary in addition to a free campsite and hookups. So you just have to look, you have to do your due diligence, do some research, but those exist. There's also, so that's job number 1, campground host or maintenance personnel. Along with that, there are, in different parts of the world and the United States, various resort properties that will hire you to work on a resort. So if you love skiing, look at jobs in ski resorts. And, you can, a lot of times they're seasonal. So one of the ways to work this is you can work there seasonally and work somewhere else in the off season, or travel to somewhere else to work in the off season. So that's an option too. I think cooljobs.com is one of the websites. There's lots of different websites that have these particular type of jobs on them. So option number 3, whatever you do now, do it virtually if possible. So if you have any kind of a skill, if you're an accountant, if you do bookkeeping, if you are good at administrative duties, if you have worked as a construction site supervisor, for many years, you could go into virtual service work. So either consulting or actual service, being a service provider to people who need those services for like accounting, bookkeeping, etc. Lots of jobs out there for those kind of things. So those are some options. Become a travel agent. So I actually believe in the multiple streams of income philosophy, and I am a registered travel agent. I am also a certified director of operations, and I do coaching and consulting, and I'm a content creator because I have created a course that I put out there for people to learn from on their own pace. So if you like to travel yourself, you could become a travel agent and help other people plan their travel, and you earn a commission off of their travel. And one way to get started with this, you can always contact me. I don't have a team of people under me, but I am under another travel agent, and I can hook you up with her, and she can help you get started. But there's other ways to get started as well. I'm not trying to sell you into anything. But if you enjoy travel, then one of the perks of this is you get discounts on your own travel, and you earn commission off of helping other people plan their travels and book their travels. And let your friends and family, when you're getting started, let them know if they are going to plan their own travel. Expedia or one of these big companies is going to get commission off of their bookings anyways. So why not book through you, their friend, and they're supporting your livelihood plus getting a more personalized experience. And with that said, if you need a travel agent, I would be happy to help you. And then another option, like I mentioned, is content creator. What do you know how to do that you could teach someone else to do? So that's creating a course. You create a course and put it out there to teach other people a skill that you already know how to do very well. Another option, if you love designing things, people like me who are just trying to get information out there need help with content creation. So graphic design, creating the thumbnail for this video, editing this video, that would go up there with I think number 2, being a virtual service provider, video editor. That's huge these days. So as graphic designer. But as a content creator, if you like graphic design, you could design things that people can download, like daily planners or chore charts, lesson plans for homeschooling moms, different things like that. There's all the sky's the limit with that. And then last but not least is coaching and mentoring, especially if you have an area of expertise. So like, I was a teacher for 10 years. I have a master's degree in higher education administration. I also have worked in business operations, and I know my way in and out of the ops world, business operations world. So I have a blended approach to it's life coaching essentially, but I like to call it, mentorship, consulting, just helping you with whatever you need help with, because I have such a varied background, and I have lived, I have redesigned my life multiple times now. I know more about what's out there and possible than someone who's just, leaving traditional 9 to 5 and not really sure what the lay of the land is like. So I blend mentorship, consulting, and coaching. I just walk with you. I like being your cheerleader and supporting you. I hate to say it this way, but friend for hire that has some skills in specifically what you're trying to do in life. So that is an option as well. If you are coming from the field of engineering, you can be a consultant and engineer, to other engineers. Or if you're coming from engineering and you know that there's a huge group out there of engineers who are trying to also redesign their life, you could become a life coach for engineers, and you could do exactly what I'm doing right now, but tailor it towards the language of engineers and folks that, I believe that you put it out there, and the people that are meant to hear your message are magnetically drawn to you if you are living in alignment with who you are here to be, which goes back to one of my previous videos of 5 things to think about when you're redesigning your life, 5 things to consider. And number 1 is knowing who you are. So knowing who you are and getting in alignment with who that is, and living in alignment, your actions truly reflecting that person, that individual. I believe that you're magnetically going to attract the people, experiences, and situations, circumstances into your life that you're meant to. And it might not always seem like what you're hoping for, or it might not make sense, but a lot of times it's for you to learn a lesson. Sometimes it's an internal lesson. So there's my 5 alternatives to traditional 9 to 5 jobs. You can be a campground host or maintenance person. One thing I didn't mention with that too, you could also be an RV maintenance tech. Those are really needed on the road. So that kind of goes along with that one. You can be a virtual service provider and provide whatever services you currently provide in an office setting virtually. You could become a travel agent and earn commission on your friends' bookings of you can earn commission on booking travel for your friends, as well as get discounts on your own travel expenses. You can become a content creator and create things, beautiful things for other people. So, you do YouTube videos like this and just share your life experience. You can create images for other people who are doing YouTube videos, do their overlays. You can create digital products that are downloadable for people to purchase. The sky's the limit with this one. And then finally, and also, very along the same lines, very similar to that last one, be a coach, consultant, or mentor. And I know it seems like the space, at least to me, it seems like that space is kind of getting overrun. It's not, actually. And you do just need to contribute, put your knowledge out there, and trust and believe that if you're living in alignment, whoever is meant to find you will find you, and they'll find you in the time that is perfect for both you and them. And so, yeah, if any of these resonated, let me know below. If you have other ideas you'd like to share with everybody else, leave those in the comments as well, please, or start your own YouTube channel and share them in your own videos. Become that content creator. If you like this video, I sure would appreciate a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. It helps get this content out to more people who may benefit from it. And as I've said before, my mission in life is to help as many children grow up to be who they were uniquely created to be. And I believe that the best way that I can do that right now is by helping as many adults redesign their life and remember who they are and live a life that's truly aligned, so that they can guide the children in their lives into doing the same thing. And so with that said, if there's any way I could ever help you through any of the things I just mentioned, if there's a topic you would like to learn more about, I would love to make a video for you of that. So that's my content creator bucket. If you have a trip that you would love to go on, a trip that needs to be booked, you can hit me up for travel agent bookings. And if you would like somebody to walk with you on this journey as you are looking at your life through new eyes and just are open to new possibilities and living differently, especially if you need help moving through a particularly sticky transition, I've got you. I've been through, I've lost a child. I have gone through a very traumatic and unexpected divorce scenario. No co-parent in the picture here. I have gone through some pretty abrupt career changes multiple times, and not to mention, I voluntarily decided to leave everything behind and go on a family gap year to redesign my life, and it ended up, life had an even bigger redesign in store for me. So if you're struggling through transition, I am here to walk with you through that. If there's anything at all, any particular topics I can help you with, please don't hesitate to either reach out privately or leave them in the comments below. I will leave a link below, a contact link, so that you can email me. I understand, like, if it is something you'd like me to talk about, but you don't want anybody to know you're the one that asked the question, I totally get that as well. I will leave a link so that you can communicate with me privately. You're also always welcome to go to my website, neostrategic.org. I have free resources there. I also have, written down, some of us like to see in writing. I have written down how I can help you on your journey, ways that I can help you dream big or bigger, plan for adventure, and enjoy the ride of your life. If I can help you with any of that, just let me know. Lots of ways to reach out. Until then, I hope to see you next time. I hope to see you like on a real call. I would love to not just be talking to you through a screen. If you would love to just jump on a call and get to meet me, I would love to meet you too. I'll leave a coffee chat link below. No obligation, no energetic, tug there at all. Simply just let's get to know one another. My number one gift is, and strength is connection. And so I love connecting with other people, and I would love to actually meet you face to face. So yeah. And besides that, other than that, let's just connect through nature itself, get outside, enjoy some fresh air, be grateful, find moments of stillness in your life, notice the synchronicities, and until next time, just be.